Hello and welcome to PlayStationGrenade. It's time for episode 5 in our series looking at free-to-play games on your PS4. Like usual, use the comment section below to find people to game with, and if you don't like anything on the list, then check out the other 40 games we've looked at before. I'm confident you'll find at least one game that you love on this list. I'll be scouring the comment section to find a group to play Warframe with, but before I get sidetracked, let's do this. Let's start with Brawlhalla, an online or local platform fighter which brings back memories of Smash Bros, supporting up to 8 players in free-for-alls.
Welcome to Brawlhalla!
At first glance, Brawlhalla looks like it's for those casual players, but scratch the surface and there's enough progression and unique movesets to unlock for the most hardcore players. Each character has signature abilities, stats, weapons and combos. So will you play as all 30 characters, or master just one aspect and spam the same move repeatedly? We all know someone who does that. In case you haven't played a platform fighter before, the aim of this game is to beat the opposition into a pulp or knock them off the platform. It sounds simple and can be like that if you want it to be, but the tactical approach and targeting specific players can make this one a rage-infused control smashing experience, especially in 8-player games. The speed is absolutely mind-boggling. Brawlhalla was released back in 2014, but has only just made it over to the PS4, and already has a large user base. For some, the art style is a little too childlike, but if you can get past that, you can fill the Smash Brothers sized void in your life. A few months ago, I completely missed the release of Dungeon Defenders 2 on the PS4, so I'd like to put that right now. Dungeon Defenders 2 is all about saving Etheria with a sizable cast of 10 quirky characters. It's ultimately a tower defense formula with waves of attacking enemies over 23 maps and levels. The hack and slash influences are evident here, with the loot system which constantly adds abilities and items to keep you hooked. If you are into team management, then Dungeon Defenders 2 could be the game for you. Oh, and the greatest thing in my eyes is the split screen support. Couch co-op needs games like this. As you'd expect, the online multiplayer is where this game flourishes, so throw your PSN below and squad up with other people. If you've been around this channel in recent weeks, you'll know I am absolutely besotted by Fortnite's Battle Royale mode. That game type is free to play at present, and the others will be free to play next year. The premise of Battle Royale is just like the film, which I demand you go and watch if you haven't already. It has school kids murdering one another. What more could you ask for? In Fortnite's version of Battle Royale, you take up one spot in a server of 100 people in the hopes of being the last man standing, similarly with duos and squads. Weapons and consumables are picked up on site, usually using a pickaxe to smash through walls to find loot chests full of goodies. There's a building mechanic to Fortnite allowing you to build huge ass sniper towers and forts. Each game lasts less than 20 minutes as the play area shrinks, forcing players together, so expect a lot of gunfights. I honestly can't sing the praises of Battle Royale anymore. It's such a great game once you give it a try. I like it so much that I've made it a regular on this channel. If you haven't got the umbrella for winning yet, then add me on PSN. We are more than happy to help you get your first win. Next on the list is the Raiders of the Broken Planet. Let's quickly realign expectations here. This requires PS Plus and is only the prologue to the game's first campaign. It appears that the devs are hoping you like the prologue so much that you'll purchase other stories. On the plus side of this one, Raiders has a great soundtrack, an awesome art style, epic cinematic cutscenes, and a man's naked buttocks. Let's not stare too long. There are elements of Metal Gear Solid, Gears of War, and anything you can think of with space cowboys. Frustratingly, when I went to download this in the UK, I couldn't. Please could you verify that it's available in your respective countries? I'd be very much obliged. Warframe may have been one of the first free-to-play titles on PS4, but the latest update is so good, many people are calling it Warframe 2. With that in mind, I'm putting it on the list again. The expansion Plains of Eidolon is visually stunning and embraces innovation, so if you disliked it 5 years ago, it may be time to give it another try. There's a gorgeous new Warframe inspired by glass with new abilities. There's a new town hub, a new race of NPCs, there's a new quest system, there's a new weapon crafting system. I really could go on. World events introduce a hectic nature to Warframe, and the new area is 9 kilometers squared. Or as I like to say, feckin' huge. This open world area allows up to 50 players to gather and to do monumental things like I've just said, or what about a spot of fishing instead? As the nighttime rolls in, the enemies are beefed up with the Eidolons, who are boss-like creatures who have specific puzzles to figure out before you can understand how to destroy them. I'm going to jump into this one later this month and would like to join a group who will show me the basics. My PSN is at the start and end of the video, so if you could help me out, please let me know. Thank you very much in advance. Also, if you have any noob advice for players who are new to the concept, please help in the comments. Depending on when you're watching this, Warframe Plains of Eidolon released on the PC a few weeks ago and is out on PS4 and Xbox One on November the 14th. Next up is Death Tale, which at present is in a strange state between open beta and full release. It's an action-focused RPG with a heavy platforming element to contend with. You play as a Reaper who is trying to save the souls of people who are close to death. The woman of his dreams, well, of your dreams, is Death herself, who gave you immortality after falling in love with you. Death's sisters have since enslaved Death and forced her to produce an army to tirelessly take human lives and plunder their souls. It sounds pretty lovely, doesn't it? Take along your trusty scythe and traverse the land, slaying every abomination you find using combos and your trusty magic. Death Tale forces you to take the souls of people you meet. For example, in one scenario, you are forced to choose between a mother and an ill child, which is surprisingly hard to balance, as young souls are far more favourable to that of old ones. So ultimately, it comes down to how much of a bastard you are. Death Tale will be releasing on the PS Vita soon, which in my opinion suits the control scheme a little better. Have you tried Death Tale? I'd love to know your thoughts. Let's give some love to PSVR users of the world in the shape of Rec Room. First released on the HTC Vive, it is now time for PlayStation users to try it out, as it will be in open beta status from November the 21st. In Rec Room, you join a virtual reality social club, or recreation club if you prefer. This is filled with multiplayer minigames such as paintballing, frisbee golf, and even charades. More will be added over time, so jump in. I'll definitely be trying this one. Although the art style is very minimalist, there is customization to allow you to stand out from the crowd, and you can even decorate your own dorm room. The growing list of activities also includes co-op quests for up to 4 players. Now who's up for trying that? I need to know what that means. Rec Room could be the new PlayStation home for VR users. We shall see, I suppose.
Rec Room. Join the fun for free.
Do you fancy something with a little more death and destruction? How about a military strategy game? Here's Guns Up, in which you fight for global domination in a side-scrolling tower defense style. Recent updates have introduced new units which vary the game's options. There's a social element in the shape of alliances, allowing us to compare our stats and to be part of a bigger team. There's a card system, loot boxes, and daily rewards, which when added together gives Guns Up more depth than you probably expect. There's over 1 million active players, and although that doesn't sound like very many compared to other titles, it's a million. Try counting to 1 million, and you'll know how impressive that number is. A game which I've been asked to bring to your attention is Planetside II. You may have kept your distance from this one in the early years, as it struggled to fight the might of other free-to-play titles on PlayStation 4. As it has grown, it's adapted. It's definitely worth looking at again. Let's put the basics in place. Planetside II started out as a first-person shooter set in an all-out planet war. It included vehicular warfare 2 and tactical awareness you'd expect from something of this scale. But surprisingly, those aren't the elements I want to bring to your attention. The continuous updates are changing Planetside 2 into something quite breathtaking. For example, new implants are released regularly to adapt your character and playstyle. Small things like the Carapace, sorry if I've butchered that word, which replaces your shield with an additional health pool, or the Ocular Shield, which subdues the full might of enemy grenades against you. This level of customization allows you to build the exact character and playstyle you want. On top of all this, regular holiday themed events are present with unique rewards. As I'm writing this, the Nanite of the Living Dead event returned, which is Planetside II Halloween event. I'm personally looking for a free-to-play title, and at the moment it's between Planetside II and Warframe. Tough choice. What would you pick?
Keep in mind what is most important.
We must fight together
To survive.
Number 10 on this list is Hand of God's Smite Tactics. I'm sure you've noticed the success of card-based games such as The Witcher's Gwent or Hearthstone and of course Magic the Gathering. Well, now it's time for Smite to try its hand at it, and it's a pretty godly hand. As the god you are, your job is to decide which minions to fight your battles. What's rather impressive is the voice acting as you learn the basics. The story is far more compelling than I was expecting. The card game itself keeps you on your toes with different abilities and passive skills for each card. This is definitely for people who love mythology and want to see Hades and Zeus fight in the ultimate face-off. The more I look into this game, the more I'm impressed with it. At present, Smite Tactics requires PS Plus to play, but other than that, it is a full free-to-play title. Always double check costs before downloading though, just because it's free now doesn't guarantee it will be in the future. So there we go, another 10 video games you can play right now on your PS4 for free. Hopefully there's something for everyone here, and if I've missed any classics, please let me know. Remember to use the comments to find other people, because social gaming is what it's all about. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.